is active. So see how the cause in itself could be punitive in some of its stuff on our screen? When the channels are leaking, that's passive. When you're pumping it, that's active. Sodium, potassium pump or calcium channel pumps, those are active processes. It means you need energy for them to happen. Anything else is just passively moving from greater to lesser. So just remember that in your head, okay? Because you're going to need to remember all that stuff for next semester anyways to make it make sense when you're learning the heart, learning especially the respiratory and things like that, how things diffuse, especially with the kidney. All right, so just keep that, don't like let it go in and just bounce right out of your head, which we love to do. Okay, so now you notice where we lock to. We know that not, yes, you're going to have a stimulus to turn the system on, but the bottom line is it works automatically. In other words, and we're going to have a reaction of sympathetic versus parasympathetic. And so we'll break it down that one is your rest system and one is your stress system. And then before we finish, even though I'm going to go into the endocrine just a little bit, to show you how stress in itself could and does take your life if you don't learn about how it destroys your systems. Okay? So now that we're into this, so let's go into this. So when we look at the somatic, now what you're doing, you're comparing somatic to visceral. So you're over here where you're comparing the two systems back and forth. Okay? The somatic system is your body. It's totally voluntary. The autonomic system is totally involuntary, meaning you don't have control over it. And this consists of a single motor neuron. This will consist of two, a pre and a post. So that's single, meaning it comes out of the spinal cord right to the muscle and it works. Well, not this. This has to fire from the spinal column where there would be a ganglion to another ganglion that sits outside, then work on whatever target site it's going to hit. That's all that means. Okay? Good? Yes? Huh? Somebody say anything? Somebody said we. Oh, so did you buy the house on Friday?
Yeah.
It's all done.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I didn't like it.
It's like the worst thing in your life when you gotta go to a closing. No, it's better when they call you before they go. We want like 10,000 more out of you, or we're not doing the
Yeah,
mortgage.
that was weird.
No,
Or
but,
they're supposed to be moving back from.
no, but you know what I'm saying? Some banks will do that. Well, we want 10 grand more. Well, guess what? You should keep it because it ain't happening.
My house is a disaster right now. I can't find anything.
That's how it is. It'll be that way for a little while. All right. So notice here. So that means we have a single neurotransmitter in this system, which is acetylcholine, and in this system here, we have two neurotransmitters: acetylcholine and norepinephrine. That's what NE stands for. It stands for New England. It stands for norepinephrine, which is adrenaline. So that's just the basic overview comparing the two systems. Okay? So, what rami stimulates the sympathetic ganglion? The rami? We'll go over this in a second, but what rami stimulates your sympathetic system? Ventral rami, dorsal rami, communicating rami, which one was it? What? One more time? I mixed you two up. I guess I saw it throw ones is. Okay, so which rami would be involved? Dorsal rami, ventral rami, or communicating rami? I really like when you call this. So which one comes out off the nerve root and goes to the sympathetic ganglion? blusters come in. There they all come in. Look at this. Oh my God. Did the blusters come in? Did you see it over here? I know it messes you up. You don't know where you're going to sit, do you? Why do you want to sit next to me? No. Again, who knows the answer to that question? All right, so what is the difference between a rami and a root? Like say if we say ventral root versus dorsal root. So what is the difference between a ventral rami versus a dorsal rami? It's like reviewing at the same time, people. See if we remember this stuff as we keep going forward. Thursday? Oh, okay. I'll put it here because I got to figure it out. Did you do yours? That's right. All right, just checking. Give me attitude. Nate, you're killing me. I at least have one I can count on. Damn. What am I going to do? Where's my other friend over here? What do you think? What ring? What would you guess? All right. You got it. So it's the communicating ring. Might not. Oh, see how nice they are. Okay, so what do we mean rami communicate? So let's see what the picture looks like. Okay, so let's go down to that picture, just to look at it for now. So you understand what the hell I'm talking about. In this picture here, so this would be rami also rami is coming in, firing off of the firing onto the sympathetic ganglion. So there were three sets of rami, remember? So what is the difference between this versus this? What would this be? What type fiber would I be? Sensory, motor, or mixed? Which one? Sensory. And this would be what? Motor. These are all mixed. Once you get to this point, you're mixed. So the nerve root is relatively short, and then it's going to create the other three rami. They go on to create all the nerves. But the communicating rami's function is to go to the sympathetic ganglion to bring that response in. So at this point in time, the firing here would be acetylcholine. What fires after that would be norepinephrine. Maybe the adrenaline reaction. Understand? So that's the picture of what's happening, okay? When you're talking the parasympathetic system, that's coming from the cranial nerves or the sacrum. So what four cranial nerves are parasympathetic off the top of your head?
3, 7,
3,
7, 9, and 10.
9, and 10, right?
Oh,
What'd you say?
11. I do it every time.
So you're going to do it next week. All right, so now we got that now. All right, so that's good. You understand how it's working now. So you see, by having that sympathetic ganglion, that's your second ganglion, and then it fires off to whatever nerve. In the parasympathetic system, that second ganglion sits right near the organ that's going to bother. So it's a target organ, okay? So you know you're going to have two here, only one here. Because acetylcholine is always the transmitter that hits muscle all the time, no matter what happens, okay? So let's go into this picture. In this picture, this is showing you a simple motor neuron versus the autonomic nerves. One ganglion is target organ right to the muscle. This has two. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. The only difference here, my end product is still acetylcholine because this is parasympathetic. In the sympathetic system, the second firing would be norepinephrine. First transmitter though is always going to be ACH. So what's ACHE? What's the E stand for in ACH? So what's the pseudo-cooling estimates? What's that? Is that a transmitter or an enzyme? Enzyme. Get it before you. Good job. Woo.
Thinking the same.
Okay, but she said it faster, so she gets the credit. She'd get a little prize without you, but she said it first. Because that's what happened, it wasn't a credit. They screwed over a female. You know that story, right? Because you had general bios. But it's the truth. She did all the work, they said it first, and they got the credit for it, and she got none. Okay. Yeah, and that's the truth. It's a true story. Yes. Good job. Good job. Yeah, she gets two reasons. One, she was female, and two, she was black. It's when they're screaming. Isn't that terrible? Sucky world we live in, what are you gonna do? But she's the one who discovered the double helix. That wasn't right. They just kind of put it together fast and presented the material. They're all working on it at the same time, so you got it first. You'll learn that when you get into, if you take a general bio class. So what's acetylcholinesterase going to do to acetylcholine? Break it down to what? Acetate and choline. That's on your list with your transmitters. That's what ACHE stands for, not energy, I'm special. No, it's an enzyme. And it's going to break it down. And certain diseases affect that where that doesn't happen. Okay, so keep that in your head. It's like continue to review as we go forward at the same time. So let's look at the effect of the sympathetic versus the parasympathetic. So as you're looking at the last page of this thing here, it's going to say, okay, where does it exit the central nervous system? Well, this one exits thoracolumbar, that's cranial sacral. Because the vagus makes it all the way down to the proximal third of the large intestine. So the sacrum takes everything else over. To control the urinary bladder, the uterus, ovaries, stuff like that, as well as, you know, the transverse and the distal third of the colon to the sigmoid and rectum. That's all controlled by that. Okay? So this has a general, because it has sympathetic ganglion that sit out in the peripheral area. The ganglion for the parasympathetic system sit next to the organ they were to affect. By doing it that way, this has a target effect, this has a general effect. So the sympathetic system hits everything. The para doesn't. The para can just affect the heart and nothing else. Or just affect the lung, nothing else. Sympathetic, boom. There's no such thing as just hitting one thing. It bothers everybody. It bothers everybody. Good description. Yes? No? You agree with that? I bother everybody. Not them so much, because they just ignore me, they don't care. So the anchor don't say nothing, so I don't know if I'm bothering them or not. He's quiet. Just like these two, very quiet and shy. It is quiet around you every morning. It's just to blame you guys, so I guess it was hers. Now we know.
The two who jump ship.
Wow. Take the third one. She's trying to jump in, but she's quiet. She won't fit the profile. All right. So that's showing you. So the basic system one is fight, flight, rest, digest. So the only system that gets excitatory to this response is the digestion system. In this system, the only system that wouldn't be excited by this system is digestion. Everything else is excitatory. That's what this would mean if you read that. So what I tell you the other day, if it's sodium and calcium moving, it's usually excitatory. When you move with potassium and chlorine, it's inhibitory. So if you just keep that concept in your head, as soon as you see any question relating to them, you're going to be able to figure it out. Even if you don't know, but you understand what each one is doing. So if I'm going to stimulate sodium or stimulate calcium, I'm going to make things happen. If I don't want things to happen, I'm going to stimulate the other two guys, potassium and chlorine. Okay, then I'm shut it down. Okay, so here we go. So the effect on the body is going to be this. When we we're going to get big trouble in the nursing program. Like,
Listen, I got broken bones and stuff.
they're not going to want to hear it. They're going to just tell you right out. If you have the problems,
And I
professor.
don't go in the nursing home. I just worked 15 hours.
I
and
know
I'm getting
that.
out.
I don't want, I'm going to tell you
You know
something.
what's my fault? Really. And my mind.
Yeah, okay, see it. Bye. So the bottom part of this then is sympathetic system. Now when you look at the effect on the body, heart rate increase, heart rate decrease. Now just, all right, so just going by these two things here. What system does the opioid work? What would an opioid, opiates work? What system?
Parasympathetic.
Right, because they're going to do this. So cocaine would work this system. That's why someone's heart can almost explode if they overdose, because it just throws it into such a tractile state, which is unbelievable. Okay, so just knowing those things, so you would see pupils fixed and constricted, opioid. Pupil fixed and dilated, cocaine. And it's a person's acting, being enraged, smashing things around. On the autonomic system.
Oh yeah, I know. I got that.
So, of course, you're going to expect that heart rate increase, blood pressure, respiration increase. Here, you're going to decrease all that. So they're opposite effects. Pupils dilate. So blood sugar, we don't increase, these decrease. So not so much that we decrease them as we take glucose and recycle it back to glycogen and store it in the liver and in the muscles. We don't need it. And in this system, you're going to break it down for ATP production. So think about this. We told you that no matter what happens to muscle, regardless of it's sympathetic or parasympathetic, acetylcholine always hits the muscle. What creates the enhancement of the muscle? Not to fatigue out, to become stronger in a sympathetic reaction. The blood sugars. And the dilation of the vessels and pumping in the heart. So you're going to push more oxygen into the muscle and more glucose into the muscle. By doing that, you're going to get more ATP production. The muscle can work more efficient and strong under a sympathetic reaction, okay? So look, we decrease GI function in sympathetic, increase it in parasympathetic. Well, if you're running for your life, I'm not really going to give a crap if you're digesting the hamburger you ate at lunchtime. Oh, I hope that hamburger does this. I'm not hungry after that. I'm not going to really worry about it. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to worry about it. So luckily, our system lives the majority of the time in the parasympathetic world. Because living in the sympathetic world will kill you. I'm going to show you that after in an endocrine slide that I have on how I'm going to show you how it destroys your system. Now, notice in the gonads the effect. So this is why the blue pill works. For that, nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide is a vasodilator. This is going to cause the erection. The sympathetic system causes the ejaculation. So it does have effect. So this, the only thing this stimulates is that and that. So it was like a discussion we had the other day with a class, right? It's like, it doesn't make sense when someone is like a molester, because as they're doing the act, they're getting, not just but the sympathetic system is rising more and more. So I don't understand how they can keep the erection. Because you're stimulating parts of the brain, no, at an angle. That's why they do what they do. So how they perform the act, doesn't really make sense. Because if you're uptight and mad, you're not going to perform. Well, you're not. So if you suck the first time, you're going to suck the second time. You're going to be more stressed out, so it's not going to work. So just the time it is. Just in case you want to have to sneak it in his drink, and you have fun for 2 hours. So there's your basic shift between the system. Now, when we look at this chart here, go back to this chart. What nerve do you think this is? What cranial nerve? That's a parasympathetic system doing all that. The vagus, exactly. This would be what? 3. And this would be 2 nerves, 7 and 9. Okay? That would affect that. So you can see how much the vagus does. And you can see the sympathetic system comes out of here. Parasympathetic, cranial, sacral, bladder, genitals. So for this system to work, it's jumping on the nerves down to it. Same thing with how we get into to affect the eye. So pretty much what happens here, this system gets shut off, so this will die. So this is your alpha system, this is your beta system. So when acetylcholine binds all the time, depending on how it was stimulated, it'll know, do I hit an alpha fiber or do I hit a beta fiber? If the acetylcholine hits the beta fiber, it's going to turn on the sympathetic system. If it is the alpha fiber, it's going to continue on as a parasympathetic response. Understand? That's how the systems work. Now, you're going to get this all over again in AP2 because it kind of goes with the viscera. But it's good to get it twice so it makes more sense to you. Right? So again, what was the rami that stimulates the sympathetic ganglion? Come on, which rami? Communicating rami. But you can say, well, it does kind of come off the ventral rami. It does. So the ventral rami is motor. Is the ventral rami just motor? It is. No, it's mixed. It's the ventral root. The ventral root. But see how easy it is to get you on tests? Oh, that, yeah, it is. It's true. It's easier when it's in front of you than when it's being asked, because you're not visualizing. All right. So that kind of finishes up this nervous system, okay? So let's go into, well, it's working in PowerPoint. I want to show you this slide here. For my stressful people, stop being so damn stressed all the time. Everyone look like this. Beautiful. Okay, let's look at this. In this case here, it's showing you how stress affects your autonomic systems. This is normal. This is like exercise. This is good stress. All right, and it's going to turn on the sympathetic system through the nervous system, which you want, because eventually it shuts off. And your final outcome is going to be increased metabolic rate, which is a good thing to burn calorie. That's fine. But look what's going to increase heart rate, blood pressure. Liver converts glycogen to glucose to release it into blood, dilate the bronchioles, increase blood flow, right? decreased digestion and urinary output. That usually comes with a sympathetic shift. That's normal. But the other type person, no, it's not because they exercise. So the exercise isn't diverting your stress. You're just stressed. Just stressed. Everything's out of back. Just stressed out. And then you don't understand, when you weigh yourself, you may be 7, 8 pounds more. But I'm not eating different, and I still exercise. So you go for your 6-month checkup to the primary, and they say, well, you're like 6 pounds heavier. And your blood pressure's up a bit. That's the reason why. The stress is affecting the angiotensin 1 and 2 systems, which we'll learn about in AP2, and that's going to retain sodium. Where sodium goes, water goes. And when you do that, volume increases, which then will increase blood pressure. And that's how we get the blood pressure shift. But that's not enough. We just don't stop. Go back in 6 months, not only now do we still have the weight gain and the hypertension, so instead of being like 120 over 70, you're like 140 over 90 for your resting blood pressure. And now they find, well, when we did your fasting blood sugars, instead of being below 100, you sit around 104, 108. You're kind of pre-diabetic now. But I still exercise and I eat the same diet. Well, here's the reason why. You're converting more and more to push more into the blood, but we don't need it. So now you're pre-diabetic. So most likely their approach would have been put you on diazides, put you on something for the pre-diabetes, so they love to push the drugs on you. Instead of going to the cause, which was up in the brain, to send you to a counselor and see what the hell's troubling you to get you to function again. To see if we can shut. But now you become so chronic, this system doesn't shut off. It's not using nerve, it's using the endocrine system. So it's not shutting off. And then we go with our catecholamines and cortisols. So when you're producing cortisol, man, you're here. So when your cortisol levels are going up, you're here. You're already damaging your body. Because you're not using that, you're using this now. This is not, and eventually what's going to happen, suppression of immune system. So we're always sick. Miserable, sick, fatty, and high blood sugar. Wow, I just suck. They look at, not looking at you, but I look in the mirror and you hate what you see. So now it was even worse. But along with immune suppression, because what gland are we whacking here? The adrenals. Eventually, adrenal insufficiency sets in. Now, as that keeps setting in, now we eventually start getting organ failure of the heart or the kidneys. And eventually, you will end up probably with a stroke, heart attack, all because of stress. And the medical approach is meant to hit you with drugs instead of finding the cause. And what was the cause? Stress hits people differently. Some people lose, some people gain. The divorce diet. Most people lose weight through divorce. They lose like 10, 20 pounds without even trying. But you understand, how many of you fall into this category because you worry about every damn thing, stressed all the time? Yeah, I'm looking at you. Time to relax. You're always like a tornado. You're still young, but in a few more years, it's going to start hurting. That's why I'm trying to. That's why I explained this as you came in. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? But you know, that's the sad thing. You do know. Maybe some of it can't be corrected right now. But try to worry about mom time. Because I see you, knowing you this short bit, you're living with everybody else but you. And I'm not picking on you. I'm sure there's others in here the same thing. But you are. You're living for everybody else but you. Worry about you, and you'll be fine. Because you're very smart. So you're going to achieve your goal. And there's others I can pick on. I'm not picking on her. I'm being honest with you. Remember, I practiced a long time. I don't give a shit what kind of physician, whatever you are, you learn people. And you're going to get that way someday too. You learn people. You know when you're talking to a patient how they're going to respond to you because some don't want to, some do. You know, if you see someone with so much talent, I want to see them make it. That's her. She's damn good whatever she does. She's smart. Not just smart, she works to achieve. So you need an applause for what you need for what you do. You're a hard-working person. I'm a ball buster, I know, but you're a hard-working person. I see how hard you work. That's why I give attention to you, to let you know I see it.
I just found out someone who's been dying.
I understand. Look, I understand that. You just got a big, but you got a big heart. You wear your heart here. She wears it on her sleeve, which is good. But don't let it overtake you. That's all I'm saying. What you do, you live for everybody else. I tell my life what you do. I gotta go here. I never ever hear you say, I'm doing this for me. Some of it is because it's reward watching for you. I understand that, but take time for you. You're still young.